Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's March 8th, 2017, and the headlines is the death of Fred Weintraub, the Jewish Zionist who owned the piano bar in New York City known as the Bitter End. He's credited with discovering a lot of famous talent in the music recording industry and even Hollywood actors such as Bruce Lee. So what we're going to do in this video is talk about the death of Fred Weintraub by the numbers. Then we're going to talk about the death of Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee by the numbers. Notice Fred died at age 88 this week, remembered for owning a famous piano bar. There's 88 keys on a piano. And notice also the emphasis on Woodstock. We'll talk about why that word's emphasized. Remember, the people who control your media are Zionist Jews. They practice something called gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. The reason Woodstock is emphasized has everything to do with the numbers behind the word. So real quick, the piano bar he owned was the Bitter End. The Bitter End has gematria 58, just like Weintraub, his last name, just like Freemasonry, just like secret society. United States has gematria 58, a nation founded by Freemasons and Zionist Jewish banker tyrants. The type of people that Fred Weintraub was born to. His birth name is Fred Robert Weintraub. Fred and Robert, names with 33 gematria, Weintraub 113. Very special numbers to Masonry and Zionism. Remember, it's 113 in the Talmud, Bava Kama 113a, that says it's okay for somebody who's Jewish to lie to somebody who is not. Special numbers coded into this man's name. As for Woodstock being emphasized, it has gematria of 118, just like the birth name Fred Robert Weintraub, just like the word death. And very often we see this number around suspicious deaths. A little more than a year ago, Vanity died just before the 58th Grammys. Her cause of death had a name gematria of 118. I showed that day after the Grammys that those numbers connected with Prince, her former boyfriend. And we might very well be reading about the death of Prince sooner than later. Prince would die April 21st, 2016 by the numbers. Prince Rogers Nelson, his birth name, gematria of 118. They said they found him in an elevator, 118. From my prediction of Prince's death last year to the present, I've covered so many celebrity deaths, and at least 20 of them have had the number 118 front and center. So Fred Robert Weintraub. He died on the 64th day of the year, March 5th, a date that can be written 5/3. He also died 53 days before his upcoming 89th birthday. The word religion has gematria of 53 and 89, died on 5/3. As I've said many times before, murder by numbers is a religion to the Zionists who run the entertainment industry, from music recording to Hollywood. In 1983, the band The Police put out the song Murder by Numbers, talking about how easy it is to kill people, killing people for ritual, to promote your own status in this society. The lyrics it's as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3, alluding to gematria, the Jewish practice. So anyhow, him dying on the 64th day of the year, that's interesting because Israel equals 64, Zion equals 64, Israel is the Zionist nation. Thelema equals 64, the occult religion that worships the number 93. We'll talk about 93 in regards to the death of Brandon Lee and where he's buried next to his father. Thelema worships 93. The Zionist nation of Israel, everything about it is 93. The establishment date, the date it was drawn up, everything about Israel's history is 93. The point is, Israel, Zion, Thelema, all interrelated. The motto of Thelema is do what thou wilt, which equals 64, just like the name Synagogue of Satan, the name for the false Jews from the final book of the Bible, Revelation. It says the false Jews will rule in the end times. And in this world, that's the Zionist Jews. In the Bible, the Jewish people are dark-skinned, seemingly black. In this world, the people we call Jewish, because they're sort of Jews or not really, they're light-skinned. So, from his last birthday, his 88th birthday, to his death is 313 days, which is the 65th prime number. The name Fred Weintraub also has gematria of 65. 313 days after his 88th birthday as the piano bar owner. I'll link this article if you want to read the mainstream reporting. We're going to transition now to the deaths of Bruce Lee and then Brandon Lee. So Bruce Lee, mysterious death, blamed on something wrong in his head, some sort of seizure, expanding brain, fatal headache. This man was murdered by the numbers, likely poisoned, as so many others have been. He died just before his 33rd birthday. So notice he was born November 27th, the 331st day of the year, 331. His son, Brandon, would die on March 31st, 331. He died July 20th, 1973, the 4-year anniversary of the moon landing. His birth numerology, Bruce Lee, 97, 52, 25, 78, 38. I want to type in the word death, and I want you to notice this. Death has gematria of 25, 97, 38. He has 3 of those numbers in his birth numerology, and he died prematurely, very much so. The day he died, July 20th, was a date with 119 numerology, all-seeing eye equals 119, Star of David, Master Plan, Vatican, and more. Special number 119. It was also a date with 47 numerology, number of time. He died on a specific date and time. Him and his son are buried in Seattle on the 47th parallel. That could be coincidental. The date he died was also a date with 27 numerology. You know about the 27 Club and celebrities. His son reportedly died at 1:03 p.m. The day he died, 103 is the 27th prime number. We see these numbers 103 and 27 often around death as well. Last year, before Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the actor Anton Yelchin was crushed by his own car in his driveway at age 27, having 103 birth numerology. I pointed out right then, I said his death is in connection to Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which will be LeBron James and the Cavs' 103rd game of the season. Lo and behold, LeBron scored 27 to win Game 7 on the real King James's birthday. 27 days later, Nate Thurmond would drop dead, the player who had his number retired with the Cavs and the Warriors, number 42, and is very much likely the father of LeBron James. So, look at this. The day Bruce Lee died, July 20th, that was 131 days before his upcoming 33rd birthday. He died at age 32. 131 is the 32nd prime number. So he died at age 32, 131 days from his 33rd birthday. You see this? He also died 235 days after his 32nd birthday. 235 are the first 3 prime numbers. There's still something greater I need to understand about this number, but I've documented a number of times that it shows up around deaths. Suspicious deaths, 235. Bruce Lee dead 235 days after his 32nd birthday. The name Bruce also has gematria of 32, just like the name Brandon. His son Brandon, born on the 32nd day of the year, which we'll get to. Bruce Lee's birth last name is Junfan, which has gematria of 33. He came up just short of making it to age 33. I'll remind you that arsenic is the 33rd element on the periodic table, having gematria of 33, used to kill people all throughout history. Arsenic also has an atomic weight of 74. Killing equals 74. Jesus equals 74. Cross 74. Messiah, gospel. Think about Jesus on the cross at age 33. So the story is that he had this collapse May 10th, 1973, and then died July 20th from a similar collapse, and they assume that the two things are related. Well, look at this. From May 10th to July 20th is 71 days. Talmud equals 71. Catholic equals 71. Of course, the Catholic Church was created once upon a time by the Jewish Zionists. The same people who very likely created Christianity and Islam and, the religions that govern over and control so many of the masses. The Jewish Zionists have always been interested in controlling the masses. That's why they came here and created their nation, the United States of America, which has always been run by the numbers, by the same gang, by the banker tyrants. Anyway, Bruce Lee, from his first collapse to his death, 71 days. The day he died, he was reportedly meeting with Hollywood to be in the film Game of Death. Game of Death. Gematria 49, like the name Bruce. I mean, just think about it. Meeting about Game of Death, and he drops dead later the same day. The people who govern over us, they really do look at this like it's a game. You have to understand the mindset of the Zionist Jews. You need to read the Talmud and know what's in it. It says that people who aren't Jewish are a slave race, and their existence is to benefit the Jewish people. That's their only purpose of even existing. That's why they govern over us with lies. That's why they murder people by the numbers like it's nothing. This is a game to them. This is their spirituality. This is their belief system. Why do you think they came and set up a nation based on religious freedom? There's a reason that the Jewish people have been banned from every corner of the world. It's because they're sick. So Bruce, he also died in the time of cancer. Remember, the moon's ruled by Cancer. This was the 4-year anniversary of the moon landing by the numbers. Kill equals 44, like cancer, like chemo, like execution. He's buried in Seattle. He was Asian. The black race, the Asian race, they have numbers of death coded onto them. And look, all throughout history, who's been the greatest victims of the tyranny waged by the very Masonic, the very Zionist United States of America? Black people and Asians, way above any other group. Hispanics as well, We are a terrorist nation. We always have been. And oh my God, I didn't even mention the Native Americans. Genocide equals 44. Genocide 44. The nation began with a genocide. But how could we ever speak against the Jewish people? They're responsible for genocides all over the world. All people know is the fake propaganda of the Holocaust, which never even happened. It's sick, people. Nobody has the balls to speak the truth, but they'll lay down for all these lies and call everything I show a coincidence. Couldn't be any more pathetic. I should mention the words space and Armstrong have Gematria 44 in regards of him dying on the anniversary of the moon landing. Here's his birthday, November 27th, the 331st day of the year. We're now going to talk about Brandon Lee, his son, who's buried next to him in Seattle, who died on March 31st, 331. So Brandon Lee, born February 1st, 1965. His full name, Brandon Bruce Lee, Gematria of 67, like blood sacrifice. The name Brandon has Gematria of 32, like Bruce. He was born on February 1st, the 32nd day of the year. 31 days in January, plus one more. Notice he was born in Oakland. That's going to be relevant. The day he died, March 31st. 3 plus 31 is 34. 34 is a number of murder. The Crow happens to have Gematria of 34. If you don't know, Brandon Lee, the way he died was he was filming The Crow, and reportedly an actor pulled out the gun to shoot him, as they do in Hollywood movies, full of death and killing. And instead of it having a blank inside, it reportedly had a real bullet, and it killed him instantly. The man who killed him has a interview. You can go look it up, Brandon Lee's killer. He said he quit Hollywood the next day. He said that was it for him in Hollywood. When he tells the story, it seems like he knows that it was not an accident. But anyway, Brandon, dead on the date with the 34 connection, The Crow 34, Murder 34. Murder and The Crow also have Gematria of 38, number of death. From his birthday in 93, he turned 28 that year, to his death was 58 days. Number of Freemasonry. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58. He's also from Oakland, very Masonic town, Oakland 58. The basketball team there is called Golden State 58. the man who established the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton, equals 58. Remember 2 years ago, the Bay Area hosted the Super Bowl, and Cam Newton with the Black Panther on his helmet became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. Blood relative of Huey P. Newton, which equals 58, who started the Black Panther Party. From his birthday to his death was also a span of 59 days. Freemasonry happens to have gematria 59 and 58, reverse reduced and reduced, just like how Brandon's 32 reduced and Bruce's 32 and reverse reduced, interrelated methods. I guess I can just show you here real quick. Brandon, Bruce, reverse reduced. You see that? Just like how Oakland's 58 and Golden State 58. They're both based on the alphabetic order. It's just forward and backwards. If you come to the website and click on cipher over here, like if you click on a method, reduced, and then you click on the cipher, it'll show you what each letter value is in numbers. You know, you can do that for each one. I'll link this website if you want to play around, learn a little bit more, experiment, uncover the stones I already didn't. With regards to him dying 59 days from his birthday, or a span of 59 days, 58 days after, or a span of 59 days, the name Lee also has gematria 59 connected to killing. Of course, his father died by the numbers. He died at age 28. The word kill also has the 28 connection. He died on the 90th day of the year, Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee equals 90. And again, March 31st, 331, his father born on the 331st day. You see? They talk about his death here. They say he died at 1:03 p.m. on the East Coast where he was in North Carolina. You know what else? I just thought about something. I think North Carolina equals 167. Or 67, I mean. 67. Just like Brandon Bruce Lee. Just like blood sacrifice. So he died in North Carolina. One more thing to add, you know. And real quick, True Seeker, I just got to check something. Is 331 a prime number? See, I thought so. I thought 331 was the 67th prime, and we almost looked over that. You know, he died on March 31st, the 67th prime in North Carolina. You see how they do this? It's sick, True Seeker, but this is what murder by numbers is, and this is how it works. You learn what I'm teaching you. You can do this with all the suspicious deaths in history because they're pretty much all the same way. You know, instead of writing a comment to me, hey, Zach, can you please decode this death? Just do it yourself. I taught you how to do it. I mean, the directions are very clear. Check the distance from the birthdays to the death. Do the gematria. Check the location. Decode everything that's relevant to the story. You know, just as I do. Sometimes I forget things, like we almost just missed that 331 piece. But dead at 1:03 p.m., and again, on the Gematrinator calculator, you want to learn your prime numbers? You know, this calculator will help you out a ton. 103, the 27th prime, dead at 1:03 p.m., his father dead on the date with 27 numerology. Their funeral was April 3rd, 1993, or Brandon Lee's was, but it was right next to his father's. They had it in Seattle. April 3rd is the 93rd day of the year, and he died in 93. Crucifix equals 93, you know, the symbol for Jesus on the cross. Saturn is the keeper of time. Saturn equals 93. The word time has gematria 47, and Seattle's on the 47th parallel. The famous landmark there, the Space Needle, does a full rotation. It's rotating restaurant. The whole thing doesn't rotate, but it has a rotating restaurant. The restaurant does a full rotation every 47 minutes. Time 47, Seattle on the 47th parallel. Saturn, the keeper of time. The Grim Reaper scythe. The reason for the Grim Reaper symbolism is because of Saturn. Saturn has to do with time, judgment, death. The astrological symbol has the scythe in it. So Saturn has a lot to do with death. Propaganda also has gematria of 93. They say that Brandon Lee was killed with a 44 Magnum. Remember, his father died in the time of cancer, having the gematria of 44. So there it is, True Seeker. More murder by numbers. This video, it was made for Jeff Young. Jeff Young asked me to cover this man's death. For those of you who don't know Jeff, done his radio show a number of times on Monday night. For anyone wondering why I haven't done Jeff's radio show for a while, a few months back I told him, Jeff, just focus on the music. That's the gift God gave you. You played the guitar. His girlfriend was giving him a lot of shit for all the truth seeking. I said, Jeff, just focus on the music, So anyway, Jeff's doing the music thing right now. His radio program's every Monday night. Starts at 7:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jeff's the former guitarist for Megadeth. If you guys have not listened to Jeff's album Equilibrium, it's awesome. I just want to plug his album real quick because I haven't plugged it for a while. Jeff's a starving musician. Maybe you heard me say he used to be in Megadeth. It's not like he's not rich, I think he's even more broke than I am right now. So if you want to help out a starving artist who makes good music, who speaks truth, I'll link Jeff's Equilibrium album below. You can request a signed copy. You can buy the digital album. The music's awesome. You can listen to 30-second sound clips if you want to come here and check it out. But well worth $10 for the album. $10 to help Jeff out. This video wouldn't have happened without Jeff because I didn't even catch this headline. Jeff passed this on to me. Set in line the domino motion that is now this video. So thanks, Jeff. Thanks to everyone who supports and listens. As always, people, you can always share my videos. A lot of people ask if it's okay to share my videos. All of my videos can be shared. I don't file copyright strikes unless it's somebody trying to slander me. And YouTube doesn't care if I file a copyright strike anyway. So share my videos away. Grateful for all of you who share the videos. Until next time, Truth Seeker.